guys, it's ERBOI, and are you impressed by the title? Because I kind of am too. So guys, if you've been watching the latest couple of videos, you know that the Ricer Civic has a really bad clutch. And even though Riceman has in fact bought all of the clutch components needed to do a full replacement, it would also involve kind of borrowing an engine crane from a family friend and spending a lot of time working on the car. And at least since our last update, if you look at the rear bumper and see that sort of indentation and reflection in the middle, Riceman was in fact rear-ended. And worse yet, if Riceman got a new OEM bumper painted and replaced, it would in fact total the value of this car. And with it already having a blown head gasket and all these other ailments, Riceman has finally said it that he hates this car and it's about damn time that he looks at a replacement. Now, Rice Dad doesn't know too much about everything that has gone wrong with the Civic, so here's some shots of him driving it and assessing the situation. But if you ask me, I do think it's about time that Riceman deserves a new upgrade since he has been dealing with this car for almost 4 years now. Now I'll leave it off to Rice Dad and Riceman.
Get to the shift to third.
Oh yeah. No question.
Floor it now.
No, I already felt it. A little slow on the acceleration.
What do you propose I do?
This is not a huge safety issue.
Wrong.
That is absolutely
Wrong.
proved over and over again.
Wrong.
He actually...
One acceleration.
Oh, Christ almighty. You're slipping the hell out of that clutch.
I think this is still drivable. You don't need to be driving the Explorer. I say drive it to the ground. I mean, that's the idea of your first car. You should just drive it to the ground.
But Dad, what do I do if it won't move and I'm at the university? What do I do if I'm at an intersection and it won't move? What do I...
Has that happened yet?
Dad, you say drive it into the ground. Drive it until it won't move anymore.
Right. You get stuck, you call for help, and then we go
But then-
pick you up, and then we trash the car.
But we have a towing expense. It will cost us more to drive the car until it won't drive anymore.
Well, we went to this dealership looking for a particular car, but apparently the only manual car they have is this thing. It's a V6, but I do like the white and black. And it's a manual, of course. So with this Camaro over here, you could see that there's overspray from the brake caliper paint. And then when it comes to this one that we were literally just looking at, we noticed that the trunk has this sort of thing right here, so I think we're done here. Okay guys, I really like that orange Miata, but I don't think Riceman is fully into it. I really like this. I mean, it's got an all-leather interior, 6-speed, new top. The paint is gorgeous in the light over here. At least to me, even though it's impractical, it is a must-have. Was I right that this was a good find?
Yeah, this looks good.
I really like this. Aftermarket rims, Bridgestone Potenzas. This is definitely owned by someone who cared. Needs motor mounts. Now this is way out of Riceman's budget, but this G37 I think is ECU tuned, because I don't know what that badge means, but the exhaust is freaking huge. Look at that. That's huge. At least to me, I really like this car. Say it's impractical, say that it's slow, say that it's not as good as an NA, but I love it. So, for God knows what reason, Riceman wouldn't have any of that Miata life, and so he's looking at these darts since he asked for manuals, and I think the wheels aren't as good, frankly. Now we're looking at a Cruise right here. It's also a manual. Still got the steel wheels, but you know, if Riceman wants something practical, I respect his decision, but I'm a Miata man myself. So obviously, we're inside the Cruise right now. 6-speed manual. It's actually really comfortable back here. It's better than my car's back seat. So we took out this 14 Cruise. It just has 20,000 miles less than this Miata, and Riceman was not digging it because, you know, it's a Cruise. It's more about economy. It isn't that fun. The shift linkage, to be honest, is like it went into a bowl of Jell-O. And I have no idea why Riceman doesn't want to test drive this. Okay, this pains me to say it, but I might take this over my own car if I had the money for it. Just, why, Riceman? Why? Why? Miata life. Miata life. I love this so much. This car is so low. Look at that shift linkage. So tight. So amazing. I don't know why Riceman doesn't like this, because I love it. It is so freaking good. We had to take a look at this thing, of course. Manual transmission, Hellcat. That's what I like to see. And of course, we're inside what definitely won't be Riceman's next car. And they have an M6 and an M4 here, so once again, outside of Riceman's budget. Well, Riceman constantly bothers me about how he wants a practical car with a manual, so I actually found one. Do you see that shifter? Now, do you want to see which freaking car this is? See, Riceman, this is what all of your picks look like to me. Okay, Riceman, we're taking a look at this. It's a Camry, got red brake calipers, official TRD badge. This is a performance. Aww. Now, the Veloster as a car to me is a stereotype for the millennial car buyer. But even still, I have to shamelessly admit that I like this matte paint. I like the dual center exhaust, but I don't like the fact that it's an automatic. So right now we're in a 2012 Mazda 3. It is an automatic, but one requirement that we do have is manual. But we're just here to gather information, see how the car drives. And this one is fully spec'd out, leather and everything. Very nice condition, 40,000 miles.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Now, if you guys are wondering how we're going so quickly to each car dealership, the way it is here in Norman is that we have what's called the Mile of Cars, where we literally just have a row of car dealerships that you can drive down and go from one to the other to the other. It's honestly beautiful in its simplicity. Otherwise though, Riceman really liked the steering of the Mazda 3, and definitely it was way more sporty than that dog of a Cruze. Okay guys, we are now at the Mazda dealership and we're finally looking at something that is fun and practical and that Riceman actually wants. Alright guys, this is everything. This is a Mazda Speed 3 and it's missing parts to the front bumper. We actually found this one on Craigslist earlier. It has, to be frank, an obscene amount of zoom stickers. But regardless, it's a manual, it is front wheel drive, it is a hatchback, and it is powerful and fun. I am a fan of this. I am definitely a fan of this. Nice idle sound. It's already got the roof racks. Now let's be honest guys, they ripped off of my interior so bad. I'm gonna have to insert a picture, but this is just a travesty. Look at this. It's exactly like how my car was. So if you guys don't already know, it's boosted. I believe it's manual only. It's got metal pedals and everything you could want. Holy crap, this thing hauls.
Tough on car.
This thing has so much grip. So much boost.
They did have the ball fell installed.
Oh, I could tell,
I mean,
definitely.
even here it's aftermarket, it's not a stock.
Mid-range response, I am not used to that.
Just the boost noise alone is so good.
It's super addicting.
Oh. So after being hooned by two people, this is the engine. Still looks good to me. Fluids all look good so far. I really like this car. I'm gonna be so mad when he finally beats me in a roll race with this thing. Now the funny thing guys is that we actually found this car on Craigslist and we were gonna take a look at it with the owner, but he deleted the listing before we left to go on this trip. The owner sold it to this dealership. And while yes, it's true, that the tires are bald. And while yes, it's true, the interior and engine bay are dirty, this dealership will in fact detail everything, make sure it's in good shape. And, you know, if they do all that, it does seem to me that Riceman wants this car, and I do approve of it. It has a lot going for it. It sounds good, it pulls hard, the exhaust is nice, it's not overly loud like mine, and it's tastefully modded except for all the stickers. Because even though I could see him in one of these, he does value practicality. And you know what? If he values it, that's his choice. But that is a ERBOI approved car right there. 2012 Mazda Speed 3. Now guys, this car is in fact not perfect. There are some scuffs, dings, creases all over the place, but it's certainly not bad, especially from what he's coming from. And of course, price flexibility is never a bad thing. Like I said, there's a small amount of wear here and there, but overall, when you push in that really heavy clutch, you go for this linkage, it's long, but it's very direct. It's very nice. Yeah, this definitely isn't perfect. The cup holders are kind of dirty. That's something that I don't like to see in the ashtray. And the latch for this is broken, so you don't even have to lift the latch to bring it up. But, you know, depending on how much this costs, it might be a good pickup, who knows? Now, mod-wise, it has this, and an aftermarket blow-off valve, which is why it is so freaking loud on the interior. But the exhaust, I do think, is stock. Overall, guys, I gotta give this an 8 out of 10. The dealership has not done the detailing yet, so I won't judge them on those little things, seeing if they fix them. But overall, the condition is okay. They haven't priced it yet. It drives great. And like I said, they just got in a couple hours ago, but really it is a great find. And I think Riceman will be really happy with this, because what he needs is something that's fast, powerful, practical, and just something he could drive every day. And this, I think, will fill that void perfectly. So, Riceman, thoughts on that incredible Mazda Speed 3?
Well, to be honest, I preferred the Cruise. It was more refined and softer, and it's Chicago bullshit. I love that thing.
Well, guys, we are now home, and I do have to say that I could even forgive Riceman for passing up that Miata, because that Speed 3 was awesome. Well, guys, with everyone in the family aware of what Riceman wants, I think we're finally getting somewhere. Riceman has deserved a new car for a while now, and we did put a deposit, which is refundable, on that Mazda Speed, while they detail it, to take a look at it once it's done and get it inspected. But so far, that looks to be the leading choice, and I'm very proud of his decision. But guys, I think that ought to do it for this video, so as always, thanks for watching, and peace out.